to a deck profile. This is the deck that I took to the Masters Cup this weekend just gone. It's one of only four being hosted and being held in the UK. So it was good that my shop was able to host it for the community. The deck I decided to take was Tag Team Goku and Android 18. Why did I pick this leader? I've been working on it for quite some time now. I've been back and forth on different versions between mono red, red blue, and as much as I like the red blue and having access to the Android 17 and Golden Freezer unison, which is so synergistic with the deck. That and sensory beams, I felt like were the only two cards really worth running, and then you're having to add check lands in for that sake as well. It was just taking up too much deck space. So I just felt it might have been better to go back to mono red, and that's the list I decided to take this time. Granted, this comes at a coincidental time when someone else decided to play tag team in America, so congrats and shout out to that guy that took it and won. But yeah, I've been working on this for quite some time now. I've been back and forth, really like the deck, and I think it could have some potential up and coming towards the meta, depending on the changes for the Anibox. But yeah, based on the deck itself, leader, it's just a Sun Goku on the front side. On attack, auto, top 5 search for a Saiyan 4 or less, red Saiyan 4 or less, or an extra card with a cost of 1. Again, it's a red card. And then awaken is untap 1, draw 1 if you've got a Z Unison in play, more specifically this Piccolo, which we'll go into when we go into Z deck. Untap 1, draw 1, go down to 6. Pretty simple. And on its backside is when all the crazy stuff happens. So it doesn't draw as part of an auto on attack or anything like that. So you always want to swing on your turn 2 to get the top 5 search and then awaken in the middle of the swing. So it's got activate main / battle, which is a draw 1, discard 1. And again, that's once per turn on both players' turns, which is fantastic. So you're always cycling and seeing new cards, which is what this deck is really good at doing. It's got a second activate battle, activate main / battle. That was the bottom auto. The main auto for the deck is an activate battle limit 1, which coincides with the auto. The auto is triggered when you play a Sun Goku GT card from your drop. Once it's played from your drop, until the end of your opponent's next turn, you can activate the activate battle skill cost on an activate battle card, red extra card with a cost of 1 from your drop by paying its skill cost limit 1. And that's until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's both on your turn when you're putting pressure on, and you can do it again on your opponent's turn, which seems to be very good in my style of how I was playing it. I'd do it once on my turn to buff my leader up an extra, or swing an extra 15k, or a 10k depending on the card I was using, or to get an extra draw in, and then defensively being able to do that for free to get out of a big swing and buffing your leader up again to potentially a 30k depending on the extra cards that you're using, which we'll go into. But the leader's absolutely broken. I think it's great. I think it cycles so much. It sees so many new cards. And I think the deck's got massive potential. It just needs more kind of play time and more testing into the kind of the meta decks to see how relevant it is. Start off breakdown of kind of turn 1, 2, and 3 almost. The core package, and then we'll go into tech choices and why I've chosen. But straight away, you turn 1 play. There is a Goten that you can run, which is on play, draw a card. Both that card and this card has the same discard effect. But the auto on this is on play, top 5 search for a Saiyan, red Saiyan 3 or less, or an extra card with a cost of 1 and add it to your hand. Again, what's crazy about it is not only does it grab all the extra cards for the deck, it grabs any negates that are 1 cost, like Explosive Dance, Imposing Presence. It can even grab After Image. There's so many. Unending Awakening if anyone wanted to play that card. But what's good about this card is it's got the auto that when it's discarded by one of your skills, i.e. your leader effect, the activate main / battle, draw 1, discard 1, when it's discarded by that effect, or this effect of the Z Unison, place it in the drop, do a top 5 search to grab an extra card, a cost of 1 that's red, and place it into the drop. So it just sets up an extra card already there to go for you. Should you need to use it if you're struggling to kind of filter your hand or haven't seen what you needed to see. Turn 2, I play. There's two Goku GT Super Saiyans. There's 2 types. I only run this one. I don't find the other one is any good. But this one is absolutely, it gives you so much value for the deck. You don't really seem to play it past turn 2 unless you're in a pinch. But it's just the energy generator. But it's again, you do your leader skill or your Xenison skill to discard it. It's a 2 cost deflect with 15k. If it's discarded by one of your skills, you can pay red energy, play it from your drop, and you draw one. So that's all part of the cost to play. And it's got an auto that on attack, it gets a combo with the 5k from the drop. So generally my turn 1's always going to be play a cantrip, i.e. this one. I'll combo this off. I'll play out the Z Unison on turn 2. I'll get my Leader's Awakening in. I'll do my Leader skill or the Z Unison skill to draw one, discard one. I'll discard this. This will play itself out from the drop. Where I've played the Z Unison, the cantrip's already in the drop. I'll swing a 15k, buffs it up to 20 by comboing off from the drop. Again, for turn 2, for a 20k swing, which regenerates that Z energy, again for you to then play out the Z extra. Because there's not much else you're doing generally on turn 2. You're playing a Z Unison and you're playing this Goku. You may play a cantrip again if you've got another one. I never played that. I always ended up playing that as the extra and then passing and going defensive with the leader package, the leader's activate battle skill with the extra cards. I run 3 of the Son Goku. I can never remember the names because they both look exactly the same. As 3 of them. Showdown with the Machine Mutant. This one is a 20k deflect with double strike. Again, it's got the same auto. When it's discarded by one of my skills, I can tap one and play it from the drop and draw one. So what's good about the leader skill is you draw one, discarding one, but you're discarding the cards that then draw your card back, so you will always +1 when you're playing these cards out. You're not just breaking even all the time. And what's good about this one is on play, it minuses a battle card 10k. I run 3 of them because you only want to see the 2 drop and the 3 drop literally. You play this when you're on 3 energy, and you play this one when you're on 2 or more, this one on 3 or more. But outside of that, you're never playing these 2 again because you're going to go into the boss monster, which gives you the main value of the deck. But yeah, again, it's just a cheeky 20k double strike as well. Minus is something 10k on play. It does come up quite a bit when you want to play this one straight away, especially if you're going first. This is your turn 3 just to get your leader's auto to proc, so you can start using extra cards from the drop. But outside of that, you're never playing these. But 20 double is never a bad shout. Then we're going to go into the MVP of the deck. For those that know this card, it is absolutely broken, so you have to play a playset of these because you want to see them. It's a 4-drop deflect triple strike 30k, so it's a beastie. Again, it's got all the same autos when it's discarded by a skill. Differences between this and all the others that you've seen. The others are discarded by my skills, whereas this, even against green, or even gamma with the gamma blue-green card and stuff, if this is discarded by a skill, so you can trigger this on discard of your opponent if they force you to do the Gogeta Sin, Father Son, any green decks like that. Your opponent needs to be on 3 or more energy, but you'll tap 2 to play it from the drop, and the turn it's played, it gains barrier. So in theory, if you're playing it on your turn, it's a 30k deflect triple strike with barrier, so it's sticky, especially the turn that you've played it. And then if you know you're going against a deck that doesn't have much access to barrier removal, then you can play this defensively for 2 energy. And then you've got a 30k with barrier, and it's stuck there until ready for your turn, that you didn't have to spend any energy trying to generate it then. It's got the second auto, which is what makes this card it's so much better. It's not limit 1, nor is it once per turn, so it'll trigger every single time either you or your opponent activates an extra card with a cost of 1 from your hand or drop. So this pairs very well with the leader skill, being able to activate battle on extra cards from the drop. And again, if your opponent on swing from this, or if this is just even on the board and they do a Nimbus, Sensu Beans, Release from Evil, anything like that, as long as it's got the skills, then it'll be able to then, what it does is it gets the -2 battle cards and or unisons 15k. Again, it is not once per turn, nor is it limit 1. So your opponent could do a Nimbus, you could -2 things on their board, 15k, and then if I get to swing with something else, and then I trigger my leader skill to do the activate battle of an extra card from the drop, then it's going to trigger. That's minus 30k two things for no investment whatsoever, just from this sitting there. Um, and that's again on your opponent's turn as well if they choose to do anything. If they can't remove this card, it just generates so much value. And again, it's a 30k triple strike. Absolutely broken card. And then the final three cards, battle cards, sorry, for the engine itself. We're going to the extra cards after. Is the Android 6-drop. Android 18, Deadly Combat. Settled. It's a 20k dual attacker. For 1 energy, you play it when you're on 3 or more energy. But as part of the cost to play it, you can choose up to 3 extra cards in your drop and place them under her. What's good about that is she's got a bottom activate main that for every extra card that you place in the drop from underneath her, you can choose a card in play, a battle card in play, and give it plus 5k for the turn. If the power of that card is then 30k or more, that card is then placed into the drop. So it gets round the skills of the blue Zamasu, the blue hate, the red hate to stop your minusing. This card gets round that. It's got it inbuilt. It just places it in the drop instead. Which is fantastic. It's good against a lot of cards that are 25k, like the 6-drop freezer. Just be like, yeah, give it 5k. Okay, it's placed in the drop. And this is just for 1 energy, this sitting on board. And then again, it's a 20 dual attack. There is times it does come up quite often, especially for wide boards. As Shadow Dragons, it's great against because you can just be like, you give 3 different Shadow Dragons 5k essentially. Especially if it's allies absorbed or the 8-drop Nova, then you're just clearing 3 cards instantly for 1 energy and still potentially getting a 20k dual attack off that. It's good against black as well because if they counterplay in response to this being played, it's a 6-drop, so the counterplay, a strike at a weak point can't hit it either, which is fantastic. I'm just going to go into, I'm going to pick them all up now. I'll go into my tech choices. I'll lay them all out now. So you've got 2 Android 18 Steadfast Technique, 2 skillless Gokus. Let's move this. Merciless Barrage Limit 1. And then I've got 3 of your Barrier Boy Goku. And then I've got 2. Let's move these down. And then I've got 2 of the 5-drop from the Kidku deck. This card is an MVP. I think I'm strongly potentially going to increase it to 3. Your deck has heavily got access to a lot of extra cards, both negates or not. This just being an 11k combo, whether you're attacking or defending. So basically it's a 15k 2-drop. You're never playing it. It's just got an auto that when you combo with this card, if you choose a card, choose an extra card in your hand and place it in the drop, you get this card gets plus 6k combo power for the battle. What's great, sorry, for the turn. What's crazy about that is just being able to give it an extra, so almost a pseudo super combo in theory. And it does come up especially against yellow because the deck has got a lot of access to extra cards. This being able to, especially if they do the SS4 Goku Annihilator, and then it shuts off pretty much all of your extra cards, and you're playing red, so you only ever leave 1 open or anything like that. This just being able to get you out of quite big swings by stopping your hand from bricking as much as it felt at the time because you can't use the extra cards. Just being able to be like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll combo this, discard an extra card. It's got plus 6k. Yeah, I'm very, very tempted to place this, up this to 3. I don't think you can run 4 because of the consistency of it being a blue card, but it could be worth testing. But yeah, definitely minimum 2, but potentially wanting the 3 of based on my version. Tweaks will be made after this video anyways. Merciless Barrage, you're playing with a Unison, and the Unison, when we go into it, it is quite sticky for most of the time because people tend to leave it because it's only a 5k. However, this, of course, you need to run it if you've got Unison. Barrier Blocker, don't need to go into it, it's just additional removal. And the fact it's just potentially a dual attacker if you think you're going against Warp Jeter or something like that, knowing it's going to die straight away the turn after, or just having it as a dual blocker if you really needed to. It's fantastic. And then this card, I think this card is really good in this deck outside of Kidku itself and other decks that run a skillless package. I don't need to say much about it. It's your barrier removal for the deck. The one thing the deck does not have outside of secret rares is barrier removal in this deck. It does not have it at all. So I wanted to find a way. I originally had it started off in the sideboard, but I found a way to main deck it because I think it's just too valuable, especially because of the synergy it's going to have with what the combo. So of course you'll pay 2 when you're on 3 or more energy. You'll play this out. If there's a card, you or your opponent's got a 30k battle card in play, you'll play this as part of his activate main and play a skillless from your drop. That's where this comes into play. And again, if it sees an originally skillless battle card in play, it gets to KO something 30k or less, ignoring barrier. What's fantastic about this particular combo, paired with this leader, if we go back into it, the leader's auto doesn't specify that it has to be played by a skill from the drop. It just says when a Son Goku GT card is played from your drop, you get to activate limit 1, activate battle skills of extra cards with a cost of 1 from your drop. By playing this Goku, free plays out this skillless, therefore leader's auto's live. So if you're ever stuck and you don't have enough of the discard ones where you play them from the drop for energy, or you're tight on energy and you don't know what to do, or the situation is you've got something that's got barrier, you need to clear it, cold-hearted sin, anything like that, or a copy of the Goku unlimited potential, just play this. It'll free play this from the drop. Therefore you're going to get rid of the sticky barrier card, and this is going to trigger, this card alone will trigger the leader ability, so you don't need to worry about over investing by trying to play another Son Goku GT card as well. So I found that card is actually very good in this deck. There is an argument you could potentially run a 3-3 split. Originally I tried it with 3 skillless and 2 Goku. I cut it to 2 because I didn't want to go over 52 cards, just to find space for Merciless Barrage. But yeah, that card's absolutely great. Super combo of choice, secret rare choice. Enough said. Don't need to talk about it that much. There was a previous build I was trying to run with Golden Cooler by running red blue, stalling to turn 5, and having the Android 17 Unison in play with the Legends card. Just because you discard a card on your opponent's main phase and you untap an energy, so you feel like you're never tapping out when you're playing Golden Cooler on turn 4 or turn 5 if you've gone second or first. And you get the energy back if you haven't closed the game out, but if you haven't closed the game, then your opponent hasn't got enough to throw back at you anyways. Super combo choice Reddits, it's just you need the extra filter and being able to get rid of some dead cards in hand, especially some extra cards that you don't need, or just to see your super combo, other super combos earlier, secret rare, any other cards really. What we'll do now is we'll go into the extra cards package of the ratios that I run. I'll lay them out and then we'll go into it after. And then Corin's Tower. So the main ones, of course, of the engine or the deck specific ones, the archetype specific ones, is the double strike explosion and the exploding energy. There is other ones you can run which gives you leader, blocker and restands. I felt like in this version I didn't need it. I was trying to keep the deck count low enough because I want to be able to see things early enough. And I felt like if you were going over 52, although the deck does draw and cycle a fair bit, you just weren't seeing things early enough sometimes. Yeah, so this exploding energy is good. It's an activate battle limit 1. You choose one of your Son Goku GT cards, so you can choose your leader, and it minuses 15k for the battle. If you do, you draw a card and you get to minus your opponent's battle cards on their board, so all of their battle cards, by 10k for the turn. That does come up, especially if they've got a wide board against blue with all their Pilaf Shumais, or any kind of tokens, or any blockers that they don't choose to block off the first swing, and you could just be cheeky and just do leader skill to then do this from the drop. Just to wipe any kind of sticky little token blockers or any kind of 5k combos on board or anything like that, any small things. It's also essentially it's a super combo when you think about it defensively, and you +1 in hand. As long as you don't choose your leader to target for the -15 and you choose a different Son Goku GT, then it's just a draw 1, so you +1 in hand, and then it's a -10k, and that's and that's only going to give you more value. This card, Double Strike Explosion, I used to run it as a 4 of because I thought it was absolutely cracked. It's, again, a limit 1. If your leader is the tag team leader, you draw 2 cards. It's a bit like the Unlimited Potential Gohan Beast Gohan, the draw 2 discard 2 as part of its play. This is exactly the same. It's a plus 15k combo power. Draw 2 discard 2. Choose a Son Goku GT card, and give it plus 15 for the battle. And then additional. This is where Fusion World comes into this. Additionally, if you've got this Android 6 drop in play specifically, well, the 20k Android 18, then he gets an extra 10k. So it's effectively a 25k combo or power buff. The card is really good, especially for the filter, especially if you've got dead cards in hand and you need to see new cards, i.e. to dig deeper for secret rare, super combos, you name it. The card is great. That's the reason why I don't run the 8 drop Gohan Unlimited Potential. As much as that card I think is fantastic, this already does that effect already. And it's a power boost at the same time. Granted, I don't get the combo off my whole board, but the deck does revolve around these cards, so it was just very tight trying to find space. These two are the archetype specific cards, extra cards for it. There is other ones, I just didn't feel the other one was any good for this version. Realm, of course, no one really needs to say about what Realm does, but just for those of you that don't know, you get a 10k buff nonetheless by choosing one of your cards, so it is good at putting on unisons as well, and give it plus 10k. And then depending on if you're attacking or you're defending, you get one of two effects. If I'm the one that's attacking, then I can choose one of my opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than the current energy and minus it 30k. So it's really good early game to kind of get off any kind of big bodies off the board, and I'm not able to play out my my big 4 drop triple striker just to kind of help with wide boards, because as you can see everything kind of minuses low to the ground, and that's where this comes in, especially if you want to put pressure on. And what's good is, as long as I've played a Son Goku GT that turn, then I can do this by paying 1 from hand, and if I really needed to, then I can do the leader skill to then remove it from the game from the drop, to be able to then do another plus 10k minus something again, because this isn't limit 1 itself, nor is it got, you can only do it once for the turn as well, which is fantastic. So there was some games defensively this card is absolutely broken, especially in this deck, because you can in theory do for 1 energy be a 30k combo for 1 energy, because you could do this from hand for 1, and if you're doing it defensively it's a 15k combo and you draw 1, so it'll replace itself. And then if you do leader skill with it when it's in the drop, you can then remove it from the game from the drop and then give yourself another 15k and draw 1, therefore you're plus 1 in hand. This card is absolutely broken. There's strong possibility I might go up to 4 on it, just because of the fact that you're not locked out from doing it again on the same turn. The fact you can do it twice is fantastic. But this card against, I played against Yellow Garlic on the day. This helps really well early game, being able to minus if they tried to get into the 5 drop or even from the 3 drop. The villainous one being a 20k, this was the perfect card to deal with it early game on turn 2. Just be like, yeah, pay 1, clear it, especially because I went second. Frieza's Death Ball, that's going to stay in there. That's generally the finisher that helps to close the game out. It's for those that don't remember it, it's red, 1 cost extra card again, activate battle, choose one of my leader cards or battle cards, so this doesn't go on unisons because it was before that time, and give it plus 15 for the battle. And then it's got an auto that I can choose a battle card or leader card, and it gets minus 10k for the battle as well. One thing to note from this, if you do it from hand, as long as all of your energy is red, then you'll get the bottom auto effect to be able to minus a leader or battle card 10k. If you're doing it from the leader skill from the drop, you do not get the auto, you only get the top text of activate battle. However, it is still a 15k combo, so anyone trying to threaten you with a 20k, 25k poke, just being able to be like leader skill, yeah, remove this from the game, I'm 30k. And you've lost no resource, you've spent nothing from hand, and it gets you out of a tool swing as well. One thing that people I don't think realise is how tanky the deck can get with the extra cards being able to do that, and even if you pass with that open energy, just being able to do them from hand and again from the drop is just cracked. And the last 2 of the activate battle cards is Corrin's Tower. I went with this as almost my access to Sensu Bean. Again, when I was running the red-blue version, it was great having access to Sensu Bean, giving you energy back to then be able to do more extra cards from hand. but you don't actually do that many from hand unless you're trying to put pressure on mainly. But again, defensively, this is a 25k combo, which is for the turn if you did this defensively. Activate battle. If your leader's red, you can choose one of your cards. Choose the leader card, it gets 5k for the turn. Therefore, it's a 20k. But if you're doing it defensively, you get to choose a battle card ignoring barrier. Sorry, a card ignoring barrier, and minus it 5 for the battle. So that's quite good against little cards. Like if you went against Cumber, granted you probably don't see that much anymore, but you want to clear their foos off the board, just do this. Defensively do this, it will just minus it straight away. Or any kind of small little cantrips with barrier or anything like that. But the fact that you could do this again off, you could pay one from hand, make your leader 20k, do the leader skill to sack this off from the drop, especially if their cards, your opponent you're going against, is low to the ground. Do this and then do it again from leader skill. You're now by removing this from game, you're now a 25k base for one energy. And then 9 times out of 10 they'll pass or they'll try and just swing the leader just to draw a card, and that's it. And then we've got defense package. 3 explosive darts. Don't need to say what that card does. 2 Wolfang fists because you're playing with the unison, and that is fantastic early game. Just being able to, especially if you're against Panzino with the Gohanzi battle card, just being able to do that straight away for free. They can't do nothing about it. Blue Bojack with the Zangya if they wanted to, if they ended up swinging, but any good Bojack player is not going to be swinging with Zangya, so that wouldn't happen. And then just 2 token against. That's the main deck. 52 cards. Yeah, I can't go over that. You'll just lose consistency in my opinion. I don't even like running it at 52, but where the package is so big with the extra cards as well as the battle cards for the deck to make the deck work properly, just by having them 2 extra cards in the main board just makes it a bit easier for siding. The changes I think I would make to the main board really is just realm would possibly go up to 4. And if that went up to 4, then I would put in the blue Android Steadfast Android 18 card. I'd up that to 3 because it's again you've got more extra cards, more access to extra cards. Secret Rare's a flex spot. I am potentially looking at trying to put together a version of being a bit more leader focused because there's a way you can make the leader like a 30k, 35k and swing 3 times in theory. But that's going to take some testing. So yeah, that's the main board, 52 cards. Z deck very quickly is the Goku 20k double striker. That's effectively a dual attacker if you do the -1. And it's got barrier, which is great. The Jiren, again, dual attacker. It's good to close games out if you're under floodgates like yellow, as long as they don't release from Evil It. The Sin, just there for a -25 ability, nothing more than that. But it is a fantastic card. Because of my choice of Overrealm is the Secret Rare itself, I'm not running another Overrealm. Being able to put all them Saiyans in the warp, effectively this becomes a 2 red energy. The SS4 Gogeta. I never played it once, so that could potentially come out. But it is good at gatekeeping some decks. But then I won't have access to playing that early game, so that'll come out. Kidku, the one that can then pop off a 30k to give it double strike, plus was it 15, 9k, whatever it is, yeah, plus 9 to make it 25k double strike. That'll stay in because you've got access to 30ks, which is really good. Defender of Life is a must, just to get him from 4 to 3 and put pressure on. And then Mighty Blast, as always. And then the archetype specific ones is the Piccolo Z Unison and the extra card. This is your awakening condition, but it's a 5k, 1 for 1, so you bring that for 1. It's got a +2 and a -4. The +2, you do it when you've awakened, you don't do it on your front side, because it does check for your leader being both names. You do the +2, it's a draw 1, discard 1. Exactly the same effect as the leader's bottom for its draw engine or draw cycle. So it saves you if you wanted to bait out something from your opponent. Just do your unison first. Get the 2 extra markers on there. They might respond with something, and if they do, then you can potentially respond with Merciless Barrage, or you've still got your leaders. Also, what you've got is it's -4, where you're able to draw 2, discard 1, and then minus a battle card 20k. That is a great card. I'd put it as a 2 of because you don't need it every turn. And it's good that it's just cheap as a 1 energy play. This card I never played once. You can play it. It's a 1 for 1. It's got a permanent that if one of your Son Goku GT cards was removed by your opponent's skills, you could, I think you remove this from the game. Um, yeah, you discard a card and remove it from the game instead. So it's synergistic with the leader skill or with the skills of the cards to be able to discard. Um, I never played it once. I just kept going down the Mighty Blast, setting out turn two and leaving it there for when I needed it. I didn't mind them removing my cards because I was able to play them every turn after that. It does have an activate battle. Again, you can discard a card to give minus a battle card 5k on your opponent's board. But again, I never played it, so it never came up. I'd leave it in there for just in case I was struggling with being able to play the discard cards, just to be able to loop the effects of. And then very quickly, sideboard. Hidden Ambitions for green. Brody Crown for blue. Sometimes against green or even yellow, just because they would always pass with open energy. Another access to a sensory bean, so therefore making your leader quite tall, especially defensively. Doing that with Corrin's Tower is so much value. It could be a potentially a 30k or a 25k, and then you've got a big tall body on board as well. Violent Rays for green and Shadow Dragons mainly. Grudge and Allies, just because it's online earlier. Granted, you can pay 2, but if you're going against Oceanus and stuff like that, and you want to push, then it makes perfect sense to pay 2 for it. For green, of course, Dabura. And then 3 Brolys, just to stop anyone trying to go taller on certain swings. The matchups we played, there was a lot of rogue there. There wasn't really any meta on the day as such, but there was a yellow garlic with its support. That was a good deck. Very hard matchup. A Cooler Mill, that was tough too because you draw so much and cycle so much anyways. And then it was against Porg in the final for on Bardock's crew. Shout out to everyone that came down on the day. It was a great event, very smooth. For everyone that showed up and still commit to playing Masters, especially in person, supporting local stores, especially in the UK, is quite hard because not many stores host it anymore. But the fact that people still turned up on the day is fantastic. So I got a lot of respect for those that came all the way and travelled down to us from London because we're southeast, and then anyone else that travelled any further from that. Um, Shout out to Team Minus 2 as always, my team. Granted, there's been a lot of different focuses recently with other games being on at the minute and not many accesses to regionals. But specific shout outs to more so from the team would be mainly Gio and Frankie. It's between the three of us at the minute that are so focused and still playing Masters and pushing and pushing and pushing. We're always cooking up lists, and Gio took the time to come down on the day and take part in the event with his Sin. I didn't get a chance to play him, unfortunately. But that would have been a clutch final as well if he did make it. Um, but yeah, shout out to my Italian brothers Gio and Frankie. Another shout out to Peter Dance as always because we're always talking about the game. We're always theory crafting, play testing, and everything else in between. Um, and the guy, besides when he's not playing One Piece, anyways, he's always so hooked on playing Masters because it's the best game out there. Um, my local scene, Dan, Lewis, David, everyone there that always comes out to play every week just to keep the local scene driving and pushing forward. Doesn't matter if we're turning up with different things every week, which is fantastic. And I think the biggest shout out needs to go out to Damien at the Lookout because if it wasn't for him on the day when I spoke to him, he jumped at the opportunity the minute I said, look, would you be willing, if I stream the event, would you be willing to cast over it just to give people to talk about it? And again, it's just more content out there for people to watch for Masters because you don't get enough as it is. And he straight away responded. He's the nicest guy out there. So there's a massive thanks to him for taking time out of his day when he could have been doing anything else, but he didn't. He decided to do it with us and spend a day watching us play at the Masters Cup. So that's it from me. There'll be more gameplay videos coming up soon. Just wanted to get this out. There's lots of things in the pipeline. But yeah, the channel's just for watching games and just putting games out there for people to watch if they want to learn things. Deck list will be in the description, but changes will be made. And thanks for taking the time to watch it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.